I had a short affair during a summer program for writers, but when I returned home, my husband had left, and what he left behind still stays with me and won't let me rest. I'm writing this because sleep has been impossible lately. My therapist keeps saying I need to deal with everything that happened. But how do you face the fact that you ruined your own life? I was married to Caleb for 6 years. He's a marine biologist, the kind of guy who lights up talking about ocean chemistry and plankton trends. We met in grad school. His steady, thoughtful nature was a break from the chaotic guys I'd dated before. He felt dependable, safe. But after a while, safe turned into suffocating. I'm a copywriter. I spend my time trying to make dull tech gear sound game-changing. Next-gen integration. Revolutionary synergy. Empty slogans for pointless products. I used to write stories, real ones. I dreamed of publishing books. But bills needed paying, and Caleb's nonprofit paycheck wasn't enough. The writing retreat was supposed to help. 10 days on the coast of Maine, writing fiction with real authors. I told Caleb it would boost my creativity. He didn't even glance up from his computer. That's great, babe. You deserve it. That was our marriage, me yearning for something more, him buried in choral reports. Then I met Ronan, a published writer who led the workshop. Wore leather jackets. Intense. Passionate. The opposite of Caleb. When he read my work to the group, his voice made it sound like poetry. This, he said, eyes locked on me, is what truth on paper looks like. I should have stopped there, taken the compliment, and moved on. But I didn't. It started with late-night writing talks, just the two of us. Then wine. Then touches. Then the affair. I told myself it was research. Living passion to write passion. I even turned it into thinly disguised stories I uploaded to the workshop's private server. Everyone praised my raw honesty. Ronan called it powerful. I convinced myself Caleb wouldn't find out. We rarely touched anymore. He was exhausted from fieldwork, always deep in his data. I thought getting my needs met elsewhere would help me be a better wife. I even believed it. Driving home felt like a return to a prison. I rehearsed a fake smile and planned to say the retreat, opened up my voice. But when I got home, something felt off. Caleb's car was gone. The house was too clean. Too quiet. No coffee mug. No messy papers. I ran upstairs, his closet empty. Office cleared. Even his toothbrush was gone. On our bed, an envelope with my name on it. Inside were high-resolution photos. Me and Ronan, kissing by the fire, walking into his cabin, leaving at sunrise. Timestamps. Screenshots of the stories I uploaded, about a wife who needed real passion. At the bottom, a note. Thanks for the ending. I'll write the sequel without you. I tried calling. Disconnected. Called his job. He's on indefinite leave. His family wouldn't speak to me. Our accounts were drained. Each of us left with exactly half. The house was now in my name. He even paid off my car. Later, I found another note in my desk. Your laptop and journal are backed up. I know about June 2nd and April. June was the client I kissed. April was the dating app. He had known. All along. Update 1. It's been a month, and it's only gotten worse. I didn't realize who Caleb truly was until now. I used to call him predictable. What I didn't see was that he wasn't weak. He was just calm. I searched everywhere for him. Every Marine center, every old contact. Even hired someone. That's when I learned. He'd hired a private investigator before I met Ronan. He found drafts of my journal on the printer. Writings about feeling trapped. Fantasies of cheating. He said nothing. Just quietly made moves. Transferred his research. Opened new accounts. Documented everything. The PI wasn't some rookie. He was ex-FBI. He cloned my devices, tracked texts, saved every story where I painted Caleb as boring and useless. All while Caleb was making me coffee, planning date nights I ignored. He even booked me a ticket to a writer's conference. I skipped it for Ronan's workshop. He kept being kind while building a case to leave me quietly. When the divorce papers arrived, they were clean and airtight. My lawyer warned me. He had proof of cheating, covered 70% of the bills, and my own words could be seen as emotional abuse. I signed. Then I found out about the research. His choral project was published, without his name on it. He didn't want anything linking the work to me. He gave up credit just to protect it from being tainted by association with me. That's who he is. Thoughtful, strategic, and willing to walk away with dignity. Update 2. 3 months have passed. The divorce is final. I got the house, half the assets. No alimony. On paper, I won. But I feel like I lost everything. Ronan ghosted me after I told him about the divorce. Turns out he's married with kids. His wife called me. Said I was number 17. These writing retreats are his playground. Then the fallout hit. Caleb's screenshots included private work chats where I made fun of clients and spilled confidential info. 3 clients dropped me. My income vanished. Even the workshop kicked me out. What hurts most? I see now who Caleb really was. His sister finally replied, just to tell me to leave them alone. But she said, "You had the kindest man I know," and called him boring. He taught kids ocean science, spent holidays with seniors, adopted old dogs, made hundreds of videos for sick children, all without ever promoting himself. The last video? Posted the day before I left for the retreat. Now I journal. Not fiction. Just the truth. About the life I had and how I threw it away. Caleb wasn't dull. He was dependable. He wasn't cold. He was steady. I wanted fireworks. He built a flame. I gave up a diamond for glitter. Now I live in a house full of his ghost. Final update. Last week I saw him. I was in Seattle for a job interview, which I didn't get. Walking through the market, I saw him laughing by the fish stand. He looked relaxed. Happy. Next to him was a woman in a research jacket. She made him laugh, really laugh. He saw me. The smile vanished. He said hello. No anger. No affection. Just polite distance. He introduced her as Dr. Ko Tanaka. No mention of me. Just, we should go. The ferry doesn't wait. I watched them walk off, hand in hand. Comfortable. Natural. The life I threw away, right in front of me. I cried in the car. Not just for him, but for the version of me who could have been happy. Who could have appreciated love in quiet moments. Caleb didn't ruin my life. He left after I'd already destroyed it. He just refused to stay and watch me keep burning it down. Next month, I'm moving. Starting over. Smaller town. Serving tables. Writing in my journal. Trying to rebuild. To anyone who thinks their partner is too boring, look again. They might just love you in a quiet way. And to Caleb, thank you for loving me, for leaving me with grace, and for showing me exactly who I was. You wrote the better ending. Story 2. I'm not sure if I'm being overly jealous or if my concerns are valid, so I need an outside perspective. I'm 29 and have been with my boyfriend, who's 30, for 3 years. We live together. He has a close female friend, Nell, who's 34. They've known each other long before I came into the picture. At first, I had no problem with their friendship. I have male friends too, so I didn't want to be a hypocrite. But over time, I started to feel something wasn't right. The first time I met Nell, it was clear she wasn't happy to meet me. She came into the bar excited to see my boyfriend, until she noticed me. Her mood changed instantly. She gave me a handshake that felt like she wanted to hurt me and ignored me the rest of the night. At one point, she even seemed upset that I was sitting beside him and ended up leaving early without saying goodbye. I tried to brush it off. Not everyone will get along, and I didn't need to be close to all of his friends. But she didn't warm up over time. In fact, it got worse. She would often make jokes about me in public, mocking how I looked or the way I talked. My boyfriend never said anything in those moments. Later, when I asked about it, he claimed he hadn't noticed. She also made a big deal about hugging him whenever they met or said goodbye, but never acknowledged me. It was always subtle enough to not be obvious, but clear enough to make me feel uncomfortable. It reminded me of high school drama, and I decided I didn't need to be around someone like that. So, I stopped going to any gatherings where she'd be. I haven't seen her in about a year, but my boyfriend still sees her regularly and they text often. Lately, I'm starting to think they either dated before or something more is happening now. I've tried bringing it up gently, but he always denies it. Instead, he makes me feel like I'm just being jealous or insecure. So I push those thoughts down until something else makes them come back. What pushed me over the edge recently was when he left his phone out and I saw a message thread between them. She sent him a heart emoji, and he replied saying he was thinking of her. I didn't say anything at the time. I just froze and went to bed. Now I'm torn. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe close friends send hearts. But deep down, I feel disrespected. I don't want to keep feeling this way. I don't know how to approach this, but I do know that if nothing changes, I can't stay in this relationship. TLDR. My boyfriend's longtime female friend clearly doesn't like me and makes me uncomfortable. I suspect their relationship might be more than just friendship. I don't know how to talk to him about it without being made to feel like I'm crazy. Relevant comments reworded. Many people said not to bother giving him an ultimatum because he likely wouldn't choose me. Even if he did, he might resent me for it. He never stands up for me when Nell acts out. When I've brought it up, he brushes it off or says I'm imagining things. I've had to hide how I feel to avoid arguments. That's not what a supportive partner does. The truth is, every time she hurt me, he allowed it. Every time I spoke up, he defended her instead of setting boundaries. He never picked me, not once. The advice: don't wait for a change. Just leave. Find a new place. Move on. Trust your instincts, they're rarely wrong. One person said. Even if they didn't date, maybe they hooked up once. He used to go drinking with her alone before you were around. One time, he took you to a fancy bar he used to go to with her. That's not the kind of place you take just a friend. And someone else added, the more you talk about it, the clearer it gets. You've ignored the signs for too long. Update. Thank you to everyone who shared advice. I didn't expect so many responses, and I'm truly grateful. After thinking a lot about what was said, I decided to end the relationship. I sat him down and told him how I felt. I explained how I'd always felt like an outsider in my own relationship, how he didn't protect me from Nell's behavior, and how I no longer trusted him. I made it clear that I cared for him, but couldn't stay in something that made me feel this bad. He sat in silence for a bit. Then he asked, so you're just jealous of Nell? It was like he didn't hear anything I'd said. When I tried to explain again, he got defensive. Said he was allowed to have female friends. It was clear he wanted to turn it into an argument. But I'd already made my decision. I packed my things while he played video games and acted like I wasn't even there. Now I'm staying with my best friend. She's been incredible. We're actually planning to get a place together soon. I cried on her doorstep, and then we ate pizza and watched movies. It felt like a huge weight had lifted. My family has also been amazing, taking me out to help keep my spirits up. Even some of my ex's friends reached out and said they understood where I was coming from, which honestly surprised me. But the biggest shock came the next morning. I got a bunch of long texts from an unknown number. It was Nell. She claimed she never bullied me and said she just tried to joke around to break the ice. She insisted I was cold towards her from the beginning and accused me of making up the idea that she had something going on with my ex. She finished with a half-hearted apology, blaming me for ending my relationship out of jealousy. I didn't reply. I knew she wanted a reaction. That's always been her pattern. But I didn't give her one. Instead, I've been working on rebuilding my confidence. I got a promotion at work the other day, like a little sign from the universe that I'm on the right path. My best friend and I are moving into our own place soon, and I finally feel like I'm focusing on me. To everyone who told me I deserved better, thank you. Writing that post and reading your replies opened my eyes. I now feel free and excited for what's ahead.